Hi guys, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Okay guys, I've got a post here from the Hedera community and it's in regards to an interview. So I'm going to share this with you and I'm just going to tell you exactly why, even though this is something that's so simplistic, it is a very big deal in terms of why people would want to choose Hedera. So we've got a quote here. It says, "We don't even think about the transaction costs anymore," unquote. "Predictable fees give businesses the confidence to forecast, scale and grow. That's the advantage of building on Hedera." Joe De Silva, co-founder of Care Credit. Okay, cool. So this is something that I've mentioned before, and we've got here why building on Hedera is so much better. So the reason why it's beneficial to build on Hedera compared to other chains is it actually does their fees. One, they're fixed, and two, they're in USD, right? So this is the thing, right? I'll explain why this is such a big deal. We'll go with Ethereum. Reason being is because Ethereum's the easiest one to go by, and plus it's the top 2 cryptocurrency. And this is why, again, what I've said to you before, I do question about, Ethereum's longevity, long term. So think about you're a company, right? You need to make, like numerous transactions throughout the year. There's going to be numerous things that you're going to be doing. So let's just say now you're at a point where you've embraced crypto technology, right? So you're going to be on the blockchain or the hashgraph making, numerous transactions and stuff. Now, let's say you want to forecast how much this is going to cost you over a year. So you want to forecast really how much this is going to, cost your business, because it might be for like tax purposes and that kind of thing, whatever. But you need to forecast what you're going to end up spending, because it might need to be part of your budget as well. Well, let's put it in the perspective of if you were on Ethereum. You got to think about this, right? First and foremost, the fees are based in the token, not the actual USD amount. So the problem with the fact that it's based in the token amount is the token can fluctuate, right? So 1 minute, the token be worth X amount, and then, another day later, it could be higher or lower, right? Depending on, how busy the network is or what we're going through, like a bull market or a bear market. So that can impact the price fees. So think about it like this as a business. How could you even forecast what your expenditure is going to be? You don't know, right? You've got no idea, because it's like, I can't say for sure, because I don't know what the kind of period's going to be when I'm doing these types of transactions. So, it could be a bull market at the time, or it could be a bear market. I've got no idea. And that's going to be dependent on what the price action is like of that token. So I don't know how much it's going to cost. Big deal, right? That's a big issue. Now, let's just add on to that the congestion issues with Ethereum that can actually lead to failure of transactions. So it might be a thing where even if you try to account for, the cost of these transactions as best as you can, not only could it not be accurate, it could be that, well, we did it during a bull market, so everything was just crazy busy. So not only were the prices high, we tried to do it a few times and it failed. And you still have to pay that fee, whether it goes through or whether it fails, you still have to pay that fee. So you've still lost out on money if it fails. So imagine how frustrating that could be. Now, let's just add on to that, taking it a step further. It's not just about the fact that the transaction could fail. What if the, transaction was of utmost importance, right? So imagine you're in a situation where it's like, I need this transfer to go through. Like, I need this transaction to be done. Like, I need it to be done urgently. But you're in a bull market, so not only is it expensive to keep trying, but it keeps failing. So you're losing money, you keep trying, and it's not going through, and this is an important transaction. So imagine how that would feel, how frustrating that would be. So as a business, it could be that, that day you're trying to get it done. You can't even get it done that day because it's so busy. So can you see how these things can impact a business? And so this is why I say with Hedera, it's so unique, because not only is it not just done in like the token, it's done in USD. So, it's not going to be based on like a different currency that can fluctuate in different countries, etc. It's one currency and it's the exact fixed fee. So you know exactly what you're paying. It's not going to change based on a different currency or anything like that. It's not based as a token. So you know exactly what you're paying. So for a company, this is vital. And this is why they've said there, they don't even look at the fees anymore, the costs, because they know they don't need to, because the fees always remain the same, and that's dirt cheap. Like very, very cheap. So it's not a thing where they've got to worry that the prices could fluctuate, that, it could be a problem. They've not got to worry that, it's going to get congested because Hedera can scale. Like, there's none of these problems with Hedera. And that's why I was using Ethereum as the perfect example, because Ethereum has all these problems. So at the end of the day, again, this is why I say long term, I do question Ethereum's long-term viability, right? Like I do question that, because I don't know for sure if people are going to continue to use Ethereum long-term when they see all these cracks in the network. Now, I know they're doing updates and stuff like that, so, you know, there can be things they can do to improve on it, but I still don't think it's going to compare to networks like Hedera that have just been designed at its core to be better. They just have, right? It's like, you can keep trying to, like, you know, plaster things over the network to try and make it better and stuff like that, but it's just naturally not that way. Whereas you've got Hedera, which is just natively more impressive. It's just technologically superior. That's just what it is, right? So in that sense, I just don't know if Ethereum will be able to, you know, compete long term. You know, I've always said it before, it's that, yes, it's got the first mover advantage, but that's the gift and the curse, because yes, right now, Ethereum's okay because it's got so many, you know, so many more users and whatnot, like because it was the first around, but it's not designed as well. So longevity wise, there's been so many networks that have come since then that have improved on what Ethereum can do. So there's just better versions of it now. So I just think overall, this is where I see Hedera, you know, taking its place over time. That's just what I think will happen. And this is an explanation as to why. So yeah, this is one of those things. It's a small thing, but it makes a big difference, especially for companies. I think this is something that they're really going to be trying to stick to. So I really think this is going to make all the difference. And I really think this could be something as to why people will pick Hedera long term. I'll leave it there. If you did like this video, please remember to like, comment and subscribe so you can be updated for future HBAR content. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be alerted on when I do drop a new video. Thank you very much for watching this, and I'll see you all on the next one.